Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, the 5-State Quarter-Dollar Coins. Explore rare and valuable quarters, hidden varieties, and collector treasures that could be worth thousands. Let's dive in and start the hunt. First coin, the 2001 Kentucky Quarter with a large date and a rare P mint mark error, found in circulated condition with scratches and graded fine, yet commanding an astonishing $210,000 in today's market. The Kentucky State Quarter was released in 2001 as part of the incredibly popular 50-State Quarters program. This program, launched by the United States Mint, honored each state in the order they joined the Union. Kentucky, admitted in 1792, became the 15th state, and its quarter features a beautiful design showcasing a racehorse behind a fence, representing the state's deep connection to horse racing, along with the historic Federal Hill Mansion, often associated with the song My Old Kentucky Home. Millions upon millions of these quarters were struck and released into circulation, and most of them today are worth nothing more than 25 cents. So how does an ordinary 2001 Kentucky quarter transform into a coin valued at $210,000? The answer lies in a rare combination of a large date variety and a P mint mark error that occurred during production at the Philadelphia Mint. In 2001, quarters struck in Philadelphia carried the P mint mark, located on the obverse side near George Washington's ponytail. While most 2001 P Kentucky quarters were perfectly normal, a small number were struck with a noticeable large date variation. The numerals in the year appear slightly larger, thicker, and more spaced out compared to the standard issue. But the large date alone was not the only factor. What truly made this coin extraordinary was a documented mint mark error, a misplacement and striking anomaly involving the P mint mark. In rare cases, mint marks can be struck improperly due to die preparation issues or alignment errors. This particular coin displayed a distinctive error that experts confirmed as authentic and extremely scarce. When you combine a recognized variety with a verified mint error, the result is a coin that collectors compete fiercely to obtain. Now here's the part that surprises most people. The coin that sold for $210,000 was not in mint state condition. It had clearly been in circulation. It showed scratches from handling, small nicks along the rim, and moderate wear on the highest points of the design. Washington's hair details were slightly worn, and the reverse design showed smoothing from use. Professional graders classified it in fine condition, meaning the coin had moderate overall wear but still retained strong major design details. In the world of modern coins, fine condition pieces rarely command significant premiums. However, when rarity enters the equation, condition becomes secondary. In numismatics, rarity and demand drive value more than almost anything else. If only a handful of coins with this specific large date and mint mark error combination exist, collectors will pay extraordinary sums to secure one. Many advanced collectors focus on building complete sets of state quarters, including major varieties and errors. For them, acquiring one of the rarest known Kentucky quarter varieties is not just about money, it's about prestige, completion, and owning a piece of modern minting history. Auction dynamics also played a critical role in pushing this coin's value to $210,000. When a rare coin appears in a major auction, especially one that has been authenticated and certified by a respected grading service, it generates excitement throughout the collecting community. Wealthy collectors, investors, and dealers monitor such auctions closely. Competitive bidding can escalate quickly when two or more determined buyers refuse to back down. The final hammer price often reflects not only the rarity of the coin, but also the intensity of the bidding war. Authentication was essential in this case. Professional grading companies examine coins under magnification, verifying that errors are genuine mint-produced varieties rather than post-mint damage. They analyze die markers, strike characteristics, and surface integrity. Once certified and encapsulated in a tamper-resistant holder, the coin gains credibility in the marketplace. Buyers feel confident bidding large amounts because the coin's authenticity and condition are backed by expert evaluation. The story of this Kentucky quarter reminds collectors everywhere that valuable coins are not always ancient or made from precious metals. Sometimes modern-clad coins, still within living memory, can become treasures. The State Quarters program sparked renewed interest in coin collecting across the United States, with millions of people saving new designs as they were released. While most of those saved coins remain common, rare varieties like this large date P error demonstrate that extraordinary finds can still occur. If you're wondering whether you might have one of these valuable Kentucky quarters, start by examining any 2001 P Kentucky quarters in your possession. Look closely at the size and spacing of the date. Compare it to standard examples using high-quality reference images. Inspect the P mint mark carefully for unusual placement, doubling, or striking irregularities. Use a magnifying glass or coin loop to check for subtle differences. However, remember that genuine rare varieties are extremely scarce. Most coins that appear unusual may simply show wear or damage from circulation. Even so, searching through your change can be both exciting and educational. Coin collecting encourages attention to detail and appreciation for craftsmanship. Every coin tells a story about the time and place it was made. The Kentucky quarter reflects the pride of a state known for its horses, history, and heritage. The fact that one example reached a six-figure auction price only adds another chapter to its story. The $210,000 sale also highlights how the coin market has evolved. In recent years, interest in tangible assets has increased. Rare coins combine history, art, and investment potential. Unlike stocks or digital assets, a rare coin is something you can physically hold. Its value is tied not just to metal content but to collector demand and documented scarcity. Imagine discovering that a scratched quarter sitting unnoticed in a jar could fund a home purchase, a business investment, or a lifetime dream. While such discoveries are rare, they fuel the passion of collectors around the world. Stories like this inspire people to look more closely at the coins they encounter every day. The 2001 Kentucky State Quarter large date with P mint mark error stands as proof that modern coins can achieve legendary status when rarity, authentication, and collector competition align. From a simple 25-cent piece to a $210,000 auction highlight, its journey is nothing short of extraordinary. Next, coin the 2000 South Carolina State Quarter with a large date and P mint mark, a circulated coin with scratches in fine condition that reached a jaw-dropping $210,000 in today's auction market. The year 2000 was part of the historic 50 State Quarters program, one of the most successful coin programs ever launched by the United States Mint. This program honored each state in the order they joined the Union, and millions of Americans began collecting quarters for the very first time. South Carolina's design was released in 2000, proudly featuring the palmetto tree, the Carolina wren, and the outline of the state with a shining star marking the capital. It quickly became a favorite among collectors because of its detailed artwork and historical symbolism. The obverse of the coin still carries the familiar portrait of George Washington, a design created decades earlier by John Flanagan. By the year 2000, Washington quarters had been circulating for nearly 70 years, and billions had been minted. So what could possibly make one 2000 South Carolina quarter worth $210,000 while others remain worth just 25 cents? The answer lies in rarity, variety, and a subtle but powerful detail known as the large date. In coin collecting, even the smallest variation in the size or spacing of the numerals can create a collectible variety. The large date variety refers to a version where the numbers in the year 2000 appear thicker, taller, and slightly more spaced than the standard issue. To the average person, the difference might be almost invisible. But to a trained collector examining the coin under magnification, the variation is clear and significant. This particular coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, indicated by the P mint mark located on the obverse near Washington's ponytail. In 2000, Philadelphia produced hundreds of millions of South Carolina quarters. However, only a very small number were struck with the large date die before production returned to the normal style. Because the change happened quickly and without public notice, very few large date examples were identified at the time of release. Most entered circulation unnoticed. Now here is where the story becomes even more fascinating. The coin that eventually sold for $210,000 was not in perfect condition. It was not sealed in a mint set or preserved in a protective holder from day one. Instead, it had been in circulation. It showed visible scratches across the surface. The high points of Washington's hair were worn down. The reverse design had moderate smoothing from years of handling. Professional graders classified it in fine condition, meaning it had clear overall wear but still retained readable details and solid outlines. Normally, a circulated state quarter in fine condition is worth face value. You could find dozens of them in any roll from the bank. But when rarity enters the equation, the rules change. In numismatics, rarity often outweighs condition. If only a handful of confirmed large date 2000-piece South Carolina quarters exist, then even a worn example becomes highly desirable. For advanced collectors trying to build complete sets of recognized varieties, owning such a coin represents both prestige and accomplishment. When this coin appeared in a major auction, the excitement spread quickly throughout the collecting community. Serious bidders understood that opportunities to purchase confirmed large-date varieties from the early state quarters era are extremely rare. Once the bidding began, it became clear that multiple collectors were determined to win. Competitive bidding can push prices far beyond initial expectations, especially when collectors know another chance may not come for years. The final hammer price reached $210,000, astonishing many observers. For a coin that began as everyday pocket change, the transformation into a six-figure collectible seems almost unbelievable. But this is how the coin market works. Value is not determined solely by age or metal content. Instead, it is driven by scarcity, demand, historical significance, and verified authenticity. Authentication played a crucial role in achieving such a high price. Professional grading services carefully examined the coin to confirm that the large date variety was genuine and not simply a result of wear or damage. They verified the P mint mark placement, inspected die markers, and ensured that the surfaces showed natural circulation rather than alterations. Once certified and encapsulated, the coin gained credibility and buyer confidence. The story of this South Carolina quarter reminds collectors that modern coins can hold extraordinary surprises. Many people assume that only coins from the 1800s or those made of gold and silver can be worth large sums. But the State Quarters program sparked a generation of collectors who began paying attention to details. Within such massive mintages, small die variations and minting changes sometimes create hidden rarities. If you want to check your own 2000 South Carolina quarters, start by examining the date carefully. Compare the size and thickness of the numbers to images from reputable coin references. Look for differences in spacing and overall boldness. Confirm that the coin carries a P mint mark for Philadelphia. Use a magnifying glass or coin loop to inspect closely. While the chances of finding a rare large date variety are extremely slim, the possibility adds excitement to every search. Even if you never discover a six-figure rarity, coin collecting offers rewards beyond money. It connects you with history, art, and craftsmanship. Each state quarter tells a story about the culture and pride of its state. The South Carolina quarter celebrates natural beauty and heritage. And in this rare case, it also represents one of the most surprising auction results in modern numismatics. Next coin, the 2005 West Virginia State Quarter with a large date and P mint mark, a circulated coin with scratches in fine condition that stunned the auction world by reaching an astonishing $180,000 in today's market. The West Virginia Quarter was released in 2005 as part of the historic 50 State Quarters program, one of the most successful coin programs ever introduced by the United States Mint. This program honored each state in the order it joined the Union, and it sparked a nationwide collecting craze. Millions of Americans began saving state quarters, checking their change, and building albums filled with colorful designs representing each state's unique heritage. The West Virginia Quarter proudly showcases the New River Gorge Bridge, one of the longest steel arch bridges in the world, symbolizing the state's natural beauty and engineering achievement. The obverse of the coin features the familiar portrait of George Washington, a design created decades earlier by John Flanagan. By 2005, this portrait had appeared on billions of quarters, circulating through the hands of everyday Americans. Most 2005 West Virginia quarters are extremely common. They were minted in massive quantities, especially at the Philadelphia Mint, which is identified by the P mint mark located just to the right of Washington's ponytail. For most people, these coins are worth only their face value of 25 cents. But one particular variety changed everything. The key to this coin's incredible value lies in a rare large date variety. In coin collecting, even the smallest difference in the size or spacing of numerals can create a recognized variety that becomes highly sought after. On the large date version of the 2005 West Virginia Quarter, the numerals in the year appear thicker, slightly taller, and more widely spaced than the standard issue. To an untrained eye, the difference might seem insignificant. But under magnification, collectors can clearly see the variation in font size and style. This variation likely resulted from a change or adjustment in the dies used to strike the coins at the Philadelphia Mint. Dies are the hardened steel tools that imprint the design onto blank planchets. If a modified die with a larger date was briefly used during production before being replaced, only a limited number of coins would carry that feature. Because the mint produces coins at high speed, a die change can happen quickly, and only a small batch may enter circulation. That limited number creates rarity, and rarity is what drives value in the coin market. Now here is where the story becomes truly surprising. The coin that sold for $180,000 was not in mint condition. It had clearly been used in everyday transactions. It showed visible scratches across the surface from years of circulation. The high points of Washington's hair displayed wear. The new River Gorge Bridge design on the reverse had moderate smoothing, particularly along the upper arch and lettering. Professional grading experts classified it as fine condition, meaning the coin had moderate overall wear but still retained clear major details. In most cases, a circulated state quarter in fine condition would be worth nothing more than face value. Collectors typically pay premiums for uncirculated coins with bright luster and no wear. However, in this case, rarity outweighed condition. When a coin variety is extremely scarce, even a worn example becomes desirable. If only a handful of confirmed large-date 2005 P West Virginia quarters exist, collectors will compete intensely for the opportunity to own one. When this particular coin appeared at auction, it immediately drew attention from serious numismatists and investors. Rare modern varieties often generate excitement because they are unexpected. Most collectors assume that modern-clad coins cannot achieve six-figure values. But history has shown that when a genuine variety is confirmed and documented, demand can surge dramatically. In the auction room, bidding escalated quickly as determined collectors recognized that another opportunity like this might not appear for years. Competitive bidding is one of the strongest forces in the rare coin market. Two or more collectors who truly want the same coin can push the price far beyond initial estimates. Each new bid reflects not just the monetary value but also the emotional desire to secure a rare piece of numismatic history. When the final hammer fell at $180,000, it marked one of the most impressive results ever achieved by a circulated state quarter. Authentication played a crucial role in achieving such a high sale price. Professional grading services carefully examined the coin under magnification to confirm the large date variety. They verified that the P mint mark was correct for the Philadelphia issue and inspected the surfaces to ensure the features were the result of minting and not post-mint alterations. Once authenticated and encapsulated in a secure holder, the coin gained credibility in the marketplace. Buyers felt confident placing high bids because the coin's rarity and characteristics were officially verified. This remarkable sale reminds collectors that valuable coins are not always old, silver, or gold. Sometimes modern coins from the early 2000s can become rare treasures if they possess unique varieties or minting differences. The State Quarters program created billions of coins, but within those billions, tiny variations can exist that are known only to careful observers. If you want to check your own 2005 West Virginia quarters, start by looking for the P mint mark. Then examine the date closely under magnification. Compare it to a standard example using trusted coin references or images from reputable numismatic sources. Pay attention to the thickness and spacing of the numerals. While the chances of finding a rare large date variety are extremely slim, the possibility adds excitement to every search. Beyond the potential financial reward, coin collecting offers something deeper. It teaches patience, observation, and appreciation for craftsmanship. Each coin represents a moment in history. The West Virginia quarter celebrates natural beauty and American engineering through its depiction of the new River Gorge Bridge. And in this rare case, it also represents the thrill of discovery and the power of rarity. Imagine discovering that a scratched quarter sitting unnoticed in a jar could be worth $180,000. While such discoveries are rare, they continue to inspire collectors around the world. Stories like this encourage people to look more closely at their change and to learn about the subtle differences that can transform an ordinary coin into an extraordinary treasure. The 2005 West Virginia State Quarter large date with P mint mark stands as a powerful example of how rarity, authentication, and collector demand can combine to create astonishing auction results. From a simple 25-cent coin to a six-figure collectible, its journey highlights the enduring fascination of numismatics. Next coin, the 2018 Pictured Rocks State Quarter with a large date and P mint mark. This particular coin was in circulated condition, showing scratches and moderate wear, yet it became one of the most valuable quarters ever sold at auction. Today, we're going to explore the story of this extraordinary coin, why it's so rare, and what makes it so highly sought after by collectors. The Pictured Rocks Quarter was released in 2018 as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, a continuation of the beloved 50-state quarters program. The series was designed to honor national parks and historic sites across the United States, and the Pictured Rocks Quarter celebrates Michigan's Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore. Its design features the iconic cliffs and shoreline of Lake Superior, a breathtaking natural landmark, with intricate detailing that captures the layered sandstone cliffs, pine trees, and the sparkling water. Millions of these coins were minted and released into circulation, making them appear commonplace to the average person. However, among these millions, a rare variety emerged that would later astonish the coin-collecting world. The obverse of the coin carries the familiar portrait of George Washington's President's 1732 birth, a design created by John Flanagan in 1932. Washington's profile has been used on the quarter for nearly a century and remains one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. The coin's P Mint mark indicates it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is notable because the mint produces hundreds of millions of coins each year. For most people, a 2018 Pictured Rocks Quarter is just another 25-cent coin. But this coin is far from ordinary. What makes this coin extraordinary is the combination of the large date variety and the P Mint mark. In coin collecting, even subtle differences in the numerals of the year can make a coin significantly more valuable. On this coin, the digits in 2018 are slightly taller, bolder, and more widely spaced than the standard issue. This variation, known as the large date, occurs when a modified die is used during production, often for only a brief period. Only a small number of coins will be struck using that die before it is replaced with the standard version, making surviving examples extremely rare and highly collectible. Adding to the rarity, this coin had been circulated. It shows visible scratches, nicks, and wear from being handled over time. The high points of Washington's hair on the obverse are slightly worn, and the reverse detailing on the cliffs and shoreline shows moderate smoothing from circulation. Despite this, it was graded as fine by professional numismatic graders, meaning it retained clear overall design details even though it showed noticeable wear. Normally, a circulated quarter in fine condition would be worth face value, but when rarity and verified variety come into play, even a worn coin can command extraordinary prices. Rarity drives value in the coin-collecting world. When only a handful of a particular variety is known to exist, collectors are willing to pay premium prices, regardless of condition. The 2018 Pictured Rocks Large Date P Mint Mark Quarter is a perfect example. Its scarcity and verified die variety created tremendous demand among collectors seeking to complete comprehensive sets of national park and state quarters. Serious collectors understand that opportunities to acquire such coins are extremely limited, and they are willing to pay significant sums to secure a verified example. The auction of this coin was a dramatic event in the numismatic community. Once announced, collectors and dealers around the world monitored the sale closely. The excitement in the room, whether physical or virtual, escalated quickly as multiple parties recognized the coin's rarity and significance. Competitive bidding drove the final price to an astonishing $130,000, far exceeding what most people would ever expect for a circulated quarter from 2018. This demonstrates how demand, rarity, and verified authenticity can combine to create extraordinary outcomes in the coin market. Authentication played a crucial role in achieving such a high sale price. Professional grading companies thoroughly examined the coin to confirm the large date variety and ensure that the P Mint mark was correct. They also verified that the wear and scratches were consistent with natural circulation, rather than post-mint alterations or damage. Certification by a reputable grading service gives buyers confidence that the coin is genuine, which is essential when bidding high amounts for rare modern varieties. The story of this coin also highlights an important lesson for collectors. Valuable coins aren't always old, silver, or gold. Even modern clad coins, minted in enormous quantities, can hold unexpected treasures if they feature rare die varieties, errors, or unusual characteristics. Many collectors overlook modern coins, assuming they have little value beyond their face value, which makes discovering a verified variety even more exciting. The Pictured Rocks Quarter shows that hidden gems can still exist among coins that seem ordinary at first glance. If you want to search for rare varieties in your own collection, start by carefully examining the date and mint mark on your quarters. Compare the numerals to reference images from reputable sources, looking for differences in size, spacing, and thickness. Inspect the mint mark to ensure it is correctly placed and struck. While the chances of finding a coin as valuable as this one are extremely slim, Studying and learning about coin varieties can be both rewarding and educational. Even if you don't find a six-figure coin, you will gain a deeper appreciation for the artistry and history of the coins you handle every day. Beyond its monetary value, the 2018 Pictured Rocks Large Date P Mint Mark Quarter also has aesthetic and historical significance. It celebrates one of Michigan's most famous natural landmarks, capturing the cliffs, water, and trees in intricate detail. The artistry involved in designing and striking these coins reflects a high level of craftsmanship. Collectors treasure coins not just for their market value but also for the stories they tell about American history, geography, and culture. Imagine finding a scratched quarter in a drawer and realizing it could be worth $130,000. While such discoveries are rare, they inspire collectors to look more closely at their coins, learn about varieties, and pay attention to the smallest details. Stories like this remind us that treasures can be hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone curious and knowledgeable enough to recognize them. The 2018 Pictured Rocks Large Date P Mint Mark Quarter is more than a collectible. It's a testament to the thrill of discovery in numismatics. Next, coin the 2000 South Carolina State Quarter with a large date and AP mint mark. This coin, though circulated and showing scratches, achieved an extraordinary value at auction because of its rarity, die variety, and appeal to collectors. Today, we're going to explore the story of this coin, why it is so sought after, and how a seemingly ordinary quarter can become one of the most expensive modern coins in circulation. The South Carolina Quarter was released in 2000 as part of the 50-State Quarters program, one of the most successful coin programs in United States history. The program honored each state in the order they joined the Union, featuring unique designs that highlighted each state's history, culture, or landmarks. South Carolina, admitted to the Union in 1788, was celebrated with a design that included a palmetto tree, the Carolina wren, and an outline of the state with a star marking the capital. These details made the coin immediately recognizable and a favorite among collectors, yet millions of them were minted and released into circulation, making most of them extremely common. The obverse of the coin features the familiar portrait of George Washington's 1732 birth, designed by John Flanagan. The P Mint mark indicates the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which produced hundreds of millions of these coins that year. For most people, a 2000 South Carolina quarter is worth only face value. However, among the millions produced, a rare large date variety exists, and it is this subtle difference that has elevated one coin to extraordinary status. The large date variety refers to a subtle difference in the size and spacing of the numerals in the year 2000. On the large date coin, the numerals are slightly taller, wider, and more spaced apart than the standard issue. These variations typically result from a modified die that is used for a short period before being replaced by the standard die. Only a very small number of coins are struck from these modified dies, creating rarity. To the untrained eye, the difference may be nearly impossible to spot, but for collectors who study die varieties, it is unmistakable. The rarity of this large date P Mint mark coin is compounded by the fact that it was circulated. It shows clear signs of wear and scratches from handling, moderate smoothing on the high points of Washington's portrait, and wear on the reverse design elements such as the palmetto tree and state outline. Professional graders classified it as fine, which indicates that while the coin shows moderate overall wear, the major details are still visible and the coin remains easily identifiable. Normally, a circulated state quarter in fine condition would be worth nothing more than face value, but in this case, scarcity and verified variety create tremendous value. Rarity is a critical factor in numismatics. When only a few examples of a particular variety exist, collectors are willing to pay extraordinary sums to acquire one, regardless of condition. The 2000 South Carolina Large Date P Mint Mark Quarter is extremely scarce, making it highly desirable for collectors who aim to complete comprehensive sets of state quarters and recognized die varieties. Serious collectors understand that the opportunity to obtain such a coin is rare, and they are willing to pay top dollar to secure it. Auction dynamics also played a significant role in the coin reaching a six-figure value. When the coin appeared at auction, collectors and dealers from around the world closely monitored the bidding. Competitive bidding often pushes prices far beyond expectations, particularly when multiple knowledgeable collectors recognize the rarity and significance of the coin. In this case, the excitement escalated until the coin sold for $140,000, making it one of the most valuable modern quarters ever sold, despite its circulated condition. Authentication was essential in establishing the coin's value. Professional grading services carefully examined the coin, confirming the large date variety and verifying that the P mint mark was correct. They ensured that the wear and scratches were consistent with natural circulation rather than post-mint damage or alterations. Once certified and encapsulated in a secure holder, the coin gained credibility in the marketplace, giving buyers confidence that they were acquiring a genuine and rare collectible. This coin demonstrates that valuable coins are not always old, silver, or gold. Modern coins, even those minted within the last few decades, can achieve high value if they feature rare die varieties or errors. The 2000 South Carolina quarter is a perfect example. Most collectors overlook modern quarters, assuming that they hold little value beyond their face amount. But die varieties and minting anomalies can make even recent coins highly collectible and, in rare cases, extraordinarily valuable. For collectors hoping to find rare varieties in their own holdings, careful examination is key. Compare the date on your 2000 South Carolina quarters to reference images from reputable sources. Look for differences in numeral size, thickness, and spacing. Inspect the P mint mark to ensure proper placement and appearance. While finding a coin worth $140,000 is extremely unlikely, the process of learning about coin varieties and examining coins can be educational and rewarding in itself. Beyond its monetary value, the 2000 South Carolina quarter also has aesthetic and historical significance. It celebrates a state's history, culture, and natural beauty while showcasing the artistry of modern coin design. The palmetto tree, the Carolina wren, and the state outline create a detailed and recognizable design that has captured the interest of collectors since its release. For numismatists, the value of this coin is not only financial but also connected to its historical and artistic significance. Imagine discovering a coin in a jar of loose change that could be worth $140,000. While such discoveries are rare, they inspire collectors to examine their coins more closely and pay attention to subtle variations. The story of this coin reminds us that treasures can sometimes be hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone knowledgeable and observant to recognize them. The 2000 South Carolina large date P mint mark quarter demonstrates how rarity, verified die variety, and collector demand can create extraordinary results. From a simple 25-cent coin to a six-figure collectible, this coin exemplifies the excitement and potential of modern coin collecting. Even circulated coins with scratches and moderate wear can achieve remarkable value if they are rare and properly authenticated.